Hey Taurus, I just pulled cards for you, and honestly, the energy coming through right now is absolutely fascinating. I've been doing readings for years, but what I'm seeing in your spread today has me genuinely excited to share this with you. So let me just dive right in because there's so much depth here that I want to unpack with you. I'm getting this really strong sense that you're going through something quite extraordinary right now. You know those moments when you have a dream and then something similar happens in real life? Or when you think of someone and they suddenly text you? Well, Taurus, that's not coincidence anymore for you. You're actually stepping into a phase where your intuition and your dreams are becoming incredibly synchronized. And the universe is trying to tell you something major about this connection. The first card I pulled for you is the Ten of Swords. And I know this might seem intense right away, but hear me out. This card is showing me that you've been through something that felt like a complete ending. Maybe you went through a period where you felt absolutely defeated, where it seemed like everything was working against you. Perhaps you had dreams during this time that felt heavy, dark, or even prophetic in a painful way. The Ten of Swords represents that moment when you hit rock bottom, when you felt like you couldn't take anymore. But here's what's beautiful about this card in your reading today. It's not about the pain itself. It's about what happened after that pain. See, the Ten of Swords is actually the card of the darkest hour before dawn. It's that moment when you've been through the worst and now there's literally nowhere to go but up. And what I'm seeing here is that during that difficult period, your psychic awareness actually started to awaken. Sometimes our intuition gets louder when we're in pain because we become more open, more vulnerable, more receptive to messages from the universe. You might have noticed during your hardest moments that you started having very vivid dreams, or that you just knew things without knowing how you knew them. That wasn't random, Taurus. That was your soul opening up to receive guidance. The Ten of Swords is telling me that you had to go through that breakdown to break through into this new psychic phase you're entering. Every painful ending you experienced was actually preparing your consciousness to operate at a higher frequency. Now, the next card that came through is the Queen of Cups. And this is where things get really interesting. The Queen of Cups is one of the most intuitive, emotionally intelligent cards in the entire deck. She sits on her throne by the water, holding this ornate cup, and she represents someone who is deeply connected to their emotional and psychic depths. When I see this card for you, Taurus, I'm being shown that you're developing or have already developed this incredible capacity to feel into situations and people. You're not just thinking your way through life anymore. You're feeling your way through it. And this is directly connected to your dreams. The Queen of Cups is telling me that your dreams have become like a second language for you. You're dreaming things and then recognizing the emotional signatures of those dreams in your waking life. For example, you might dream about water and then find yourself in an emotionally intense situation the next day. Or you might dream about a specific person and sense their energy even when they're not physically near you. This card is confirmation that you're not imagining this heightened sensitivity. You're genuinely tapped into something deeper. The Queen of Cups also suggests that you might be the person others come to for emotional guidance or intuitive insights, even if you don't fully realize it yet. People can feel that there's something different about your energy now. You've become this vessel of emotional wisdom and psychic knowing. And the universe is saying that this is only going to get stronger. Your dreams are going to become even more vivid, even more aligned with your waking reality, because you're learning to trust this inner knowing. The third card here is the Two of Pentacles, and this brings in a really practical element to your reading. The Two of Pentacles shows someone juggling two different spheres, trying to maintain balance between different aspects of life. In your case, Taurus, this card is showing me that you're learning to balance your logical, practical earth sign nature with this new intuitive, dreamy psychic awareness that's opening up. And let me tell you, this is not always easy. You're someone who likes tangible results, concrete plans, things you can see and touch. But now you're being asked to trust feelings, to believe in dreams, to act on hunches that don't always make logical sense. The Two of Pentacles is telling me that you're in this dance right now between your grounded reality and your expanding spiritual awareness. Some days you might feel totally connected and aligned, where your dreams make perfect sense and your intuition is spot on. Other days, you might question everything and wonder if you're just making it all up. This card wants you to know that this back and forth is completely normal. You're integrating two different ways of experiencing reality, and that takes time. The Two of Pentacles also suggests that your intuitive hits might come through when you're doing mundane, everyday tasks. Like you might be washing dishes and suddenly know something about a situation, or you might be driving and receive a download of information. Pay attention to these moments, because your psychic awareness isn't just showing up in meditation or dreams. It's woven into your daily life now. Moving to the fourth card, I pulled the World, And honestly, Taurus, this is such a powerful confirmation of everything I've been saying. The World card represents completion, wholeness, and reaching a new level of consciousness. This card doesn't show up unless something significant is culminating in your life. What I'm seeing here is that you're completing a major soul cycle. All those experiences you've had, all those dreams that seemed random, all those intuitive nudges you weren't sure about, they were all leading you to this moment. The World card is telling me that you've gone through the full journey. You've experienced the lessons, you've done the inner work, and now you're stepping into a place of spiritual mastery. This doesn't mean you know everything or that you'll never struggle again. It means that you've earned a new level of awareness. Your dreams and intuition are matching up because you've reached a point where you're no longer resisting the messages. You're no longer trying to logic your way out of what your soul already knows. The World card represents that beautiful moment when everything clicks into place, when you realize that all the pieces of your journey were necessary to bring you here. And where is here exactly? It's a place where you can trust yourself completely, where your dreams aren't just dreams, they're guidance, where your intuition isn't just a feeling, it's wisdom. This card is also showing me that you might be completing something in the physical world that mirrors this spiritual completion. Maybe finishing a project, closing a chapter with someone, or moving into a new phase of life. And as you complete this cycle in the outer world, you're also completing an inner cycle of spiritual awakening. The fifth card I pulled is the Moon, and I actually got chills when this came up because the Moon is the card of dreams, intuition, and psychic ability. When the Moon appears in a reading about dreams matching intuition, it's like the universe is putting a giant spotlight on what's happening for you. The Moon card shows this path between two towers with a moon shining down, a dog and a wolf howling, and a crayfish emerging from the water. Every single symbol in this card is about the subconscious, about what's hidden beneath the surface, about the mysterious realm where dreams and reality blur together. Taurus, the Moon, is confirming that you are absolutely, without question, in a psychic phase right now. This isn't subtle. This isn't maybe. This is happening. The Moon suggests that your dreams are showing you truths that your conscious mind hasn't fully grasped yet. You might be dreaming about situations before they happen, or receiving symbolic messages that make sense days or weeks later. The Moon also warns about illusion, though, so here's what I want you to understand. Just because you're psychic doesn't mean every dream is a premonition or every feeling is truth. The Moon asks you to develop discernment. Some dreams are processing your day, some are showing you fears, and some are genuine psychic downloads. Learning to tell the difference is part of your development right now. The Moon is also connected to cycles, particularly feminine cycles and the lunar cycle. You might notice that your intuition is stronger at certain times of the month, or that your dreams are more vivid during specific moon phases. Pay attention to these patterns because they'll help you understand when you're most tuned in. Card number 6 is the Nine of Swords, and this card is really interesting in the context of your reading. The Nine of Swords traditionally represents anxiety, nightmares, and mental anguish. It shows someone sitting up in bed with their head in their hands, with 9 swords hanging on the wall behind them. In your reading, this card is highlighting something really important about this psychic phase you're in. When your intuition and dreams start to align strongly, it can actually be overwhelming. You might be having very intense dreams that wake you up in the middle of the night. You might be picking up on other people's emotions or energies in a way that feels exhausting. The Nine of Swords is acknowledging that developing psychic ability isn't always comfortable. Sometimes you'll receive information you don't want to know. Sometimes you'll dream about difficult things. Sometimes your intuition will guide you away from people or situations, and that can feel lonely or scary. This card wants you to know that it's okay to feel overwhelmed sometimes. It's okay to need breaks from the intensity. Not every psychic hit requires immediate action. Sometimes you're just receiving information for later, or sometimes you're picking up on possibilities rather than certainties. The Nine of Swords is also reminding you to ground yourself. When your crown chakra and third eye are opening rapidly, you need to make sure you're still connected to your root chakra. Spend time in nature, eat grounding foods, do physical activities. This will help you manage the intensity of what you're experiencing without burning out or becoming anxious about your abilities. The 7th card is the Tower. And wow, Taurus, this explains so much about why this psychic phase is happening now. The Tower is the card of sudden awakening, of structures crumbling, of lightning bolt moments that change everything. When I see the Tower in your reading, I understand that something happened recently, or is happening right now, that shattered your old way of seeing reality. Maybe you had a dream that came true in an undeniable way. Maybe you experienced a loss or shock that opened your awareness. Maybe you had a moment where you just knew something with such clarity that it broke through all your doubts. The tower represents those moments when the universe doesn't give you a choice about waking up. It just happens. And once it happens, you can't go back to sleep. You can't unknow what you've learned. The tower in this position is telling me that your psychic abilities aren't gradually developing, they're erupting. This isn't a gentle awakening. This is a cosmic wake-up call. And while tower moments can feel destabilizing, they're actually incredibly liberating. All those mental structures you built about what's possible and what's real, they needed to come down so you could experience a vaster, more magical reality. The tower is also suggesting that this psychic phase might be disrupting your life in some way. Maybe you're questioning everything you thought you knew. Maybe you're seeing people and situations differently now. Maybe your priorities are shifting because you're receiving information that changes your perspective. This is all part of the process. The old tower of your previous consciousness had to fall so a new one could be built. Card number 8 is the Four of Swords, and this brings such an important message about rest and integration. The Four of Swords shows a figure lying in repose, often in a church or sacred space, with 4 swords around them. This card is about taking time to rest, to process, to integrate everything you're experiencing. Taurus, with all this psychic activation happening, with your dreams and intuition firing on all cylinders, your nervous system needs breaks. The Four of Swords is practically begging you to give yourself permission to rest. This doesn't mean you're lazy or that you're resisting your awakening. It means you're being smart about sustainability. Psychic work is work. It takes energy to receive information from non-physical realms. It takes energy to interpret dreams and follow intuitive guidance. The Four of Swords wants you to create space for stillness. Meditation isn't just helpful right now, it's essential. Even just 10 minutes a day of sitting quietly can help you process everything you're receiving. This card is also showing me that some of your most powerful intuitive downloads come during rest. You might receive clarity about a situation right as you're falling asleep or just as you're waking up. That liminal space between sleeping and waking is when the veil is thinnest for you. The Four of Swords also suggests that you might benefit from keeping a dream journal by your bed. When you wake up, even in the middle of the night, jot down what you remember. You'll start to see patterns and themes that will help you understand the language your subconscious uses to communicate with you. The 9th card is the Ace of Wands, and this brings such incredible creative and passionate energy to your reading. The Ace of Wands represents new beginnings, inspiration, and creative fire. In the context of your psychic development, this card is showing me that your intuition is going to start guiding you toward new projects, new passions, new directions in life. The Ace of Wands is that spark of divine inspiration, that moment when you feel called to do something even if you can't explain why. This card is telling me that your dreams and intuition aren't just giving you information, they're giving you direction. You might dream about a creative project and wake up feeling compelled to start it. You might have an intuitive hit about a new career path or a new way to express yourself. The Ace of Wands wants you to act on these impulses. Your psychic phase isn't meant to just make you more aware. It's meant to activate you, to move you forward, to help you create something new in your life. This card is also connected to sexuality and life force energy, so you might notice that as your psychic abilities develop, your physical energy shifts too. You might feel more vibrant, more alive, more passionate about life in general. The Ace of Wands is essentially saying that your intuition is trying to birth something through you. Pay attention to what excites you, what makes you feel alive, what you can't stop thinking about. That's not random. That's your soul speaking through your intuition, guiding you toward your next chapter. The 10th and final card is Temperance, and this is absolutely the perfect card to complete your reading. Temperance shows an angel with 1 foot on land and 1 foot in water, pouring liquid between 2 cups. This card is all about balance, harmony, and integration. After everything I've shared with you about the intensity of your psychic development, about the tower moments and the overwhelming dreams and the powerful intuition, Temperance comes in to remind you that you're not meant to live in constant extremes. You're learning to find balance between the spiritual and the physical, between the dreamy and the practical, between your psychic nature and your earthly nature. Temperance is showing me that as you move forward, you're going to become more skilled at managing your abilities. You're going to learn when to tune in and when to tune out. You're going to develop practices that help you stay balanced even when the psychic information is flowing strongly. This card is also about alchemy and transformation. Temperance suggests that you're literally transforming yourself through this process. The person you were before this psychic phase began is not the person you'll be on the other side of it. You're mixing different elements of yourself, your logic and intuition, your fears and faith, your doubts and knowing, and creating something entirely new. Temperance wants you to be patient with yourself during this alchemical process. You don't need to have it all figured out today. You're allowed to be a work in progress. The angel in the Temperance card is calm and serene, moving between realms with grace and ease. This is what you're becoming, Taurus. Someone who can navigate both the seen and unseen worlds with equal comfort and skill. So here's what I want you to take away from this reading. You are absolutely, genuinely, powerfully in a psychic phase right now. Your dreams matching your intuition isn't coincidence. It's confirmation that you've awakened to a new level of consciousness. The universe is communicating with you in ways it wasn't before because you're finally ready to receive the messages. Everything you've been through, especially the difficult endings and the painful moments, they prepared you for this. They cracked you open so the light could get in. And now that you're here, now that you're experiencing this synchronization between your inner knowing and your outer reality, you have a responsibility to honor it. Keep a dream journal. Trust your gut feelings. Don't try to logic away what your soul already knows. Give yourself rest when you need it. Ground yourself when the energy gets too intense. And most importantly, act on the guidance you're receiving. Your intuition isn't showing you things just for fun. It's guiding you toward your highest path, your deepest purpose, your most authentic life. The cards are showing me that this psychic phase is going to continue expanding for you. As you trust it more, it gets stronger. As you act on it more, it gets clearer. You're being initiated into a new way of being in the world, Taurus, and it's honestly such a gift. Not everyone gets to experience this level of awareness. So embrace it, even when it's scary. Embrace it, even when it doesn't make sense. Embrace it, even when other people don't understand. This is your journey, your awakening, your power coming online, and I'm genuinely excited for you to see where this takes you. Thank you so much for letting me read for you today. If you resonated with this message, I'd love to hear about your experiences with dreams and intuition. Drop a comment and let me know if you've been noticing this synchronization happening in your own life. And remember, the universe is always speaking to you. You're just finally learning to hear it clearly.